Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I'm Vaibhav, your host for today. So our today's topic is sanity in an insane world, which shall be taken by Dr. Archana Anand Kabra. She shall be covering importance of mental health, mental stability by physical fitness, step versus you, living a good life, followed by question and answer session. So I request every one participants and delegate to please be there because there are some emergency at Archana ma'am's side. So she will be joined within 10 minutes. So requesting every participants to please be there for 10 minutes. Thank you.
सचिन इधर आ। हेलो। कब्रिस्तान के पास गाड़ी नंबर क्या है भैया? है? हाँ हाँ, गाड़ी कहाँ?
Good morning and warm welcome to you all. I am Vaibhav, your host for today. Our today's topic is Sanity in Insane World. It shall be taken by Dr. Archana Anand Kabra. She shall be covering importance of mental health, mental stability by physical fitness, stress versus you, living a good life, followed by question and answer session. Let's quickly go through the agenda. Virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria, invoking the blessing of deity, chanting of Gayatri Mantra, introduction of speaker, presentation by Dr. Archana Kabra, question and answer session, and last closing session. A brief introduction of Dr. Sundar Kataria. Sadgun Sangh conceived and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria, driven with the mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadgun Sangh is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Let's know more about Dr. Sundar Kataria. Designation and organization, Chairman and Managing Director, International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualification, Mechanical Engineer, AMIE, Honorary Doctorate, Business Management, experience, nuclear RAPP. He started his career in building India's first nuclear power plant at Travatbata, Kota, Rajasthan. Oil and gas, EIL. He contributed in developing India's first oil and gas field at Bombay High since its inception. DNV. He was head of industry and offshore development with DNV for 2 decades. ICS. He is founder of first Indian conformity assessment and inspection body known as the International Certification Services Private Limited, which is a provider of total quality solution under single umbrella with wide spectrum of services. He received several national and international awards and Lifetime Achievement Award of NES Corcon. Now I request Dr. Kataria to virtually inaugurate the session.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
Please join us for the recitation of the Gayatri Mantra. A brief introduction of our today's keynote speaker, designation and organization, director and consultant at Dr. Kabra's Body and Mind Clinic, Jalgaon since 11 years, currently working as associate professor and HOD in Department of Organon of Medicine and Homeopathic Philosophy in Government Homeopathy College and Hospital, Jalgaon, Maharashtra. Her academic qualification BHMS from Srimati CMP Homeopathic Medical College, Mumbai in the year 2003-2008. MD Homeopathy Psychiatry from Dr. M.L. Dowle Homeopathic Hospital and Institute, Palghar in the year 2008-2011. Her area of specialization and experience: consultant, homeopath psychiatrist, counselor and homeopathist since 11 years, and the first and one and only one homeopathy psychiatry practitioner in North Maharashtra. Work as vice principal at Dr. Ulhas Patil Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital in 2017 and 18, the youngest to be appointed for the said post till date. Her awards and achievements: proud recipient of Bharat Gaurav Puraskar conferred by KTK Foundation, New Delhi, from exceptional work in homeopathy and life achievements in 2021. COVID Warrior by Forever Star India Awards, FSIA 2021. Member of Indian Women History Museum, IWHM, a social organization working towards inspiring the world by honoring women achievers from different walks of life. Please welcome Dr. Archana ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello. Hello. Babu, can you stop the presentation, please? Yes, guys, good morning. Due to some contingency, speaker is not turned up. We are sorry for this delay. I think we can convert this session in the group discussion. So I request all the people whosoever wish to join, they can start. I request Dr. Kataria also to join us. Yes, Dr. Kataria, good morning.
Very, very good morning. How are you?
Fine, sir, fine.
Are you able to hear?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Good. So,
I think Dr. Archana Kabra is not able to join. She got some emergency.
yeah, I don't know why voice is very low.
No, first she said she will be joining in the 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Then again, I don't think there are some issues there.
Let me reconnect again.
Yeah, please.
I'll just reconnect. Yeah, very good morning. Very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, now voice is okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So-
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, very good morning to all delegates who are present here. This today's topic is very important and very relevant.
Yeah.
If you see the worldwide, if we take USA and Europe, there has been a lot of mental issues are there today. I don't know why. Almost quite a lot of numbers are increasing day by day. So is it related to mental health or is it related to your physical health or related to your happiness? What is the cause? Nobody knows. We in Bharat, India, also not away from it. We also
Yes, sir. Sir, you are. Sir, unmute yourself. Dr. Kataria.
I have unmuted.
Yeah.
Were you able to hear me or
No,
should I
now it is
repeat?
okay. No, yes, in between, yes, between you was not there. Okay, I mean your voice was not there. Audio was not there. Anyway,
Okay, okay.
okay.
I'll just again come
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
So what I was thinking today's this subject of Sadgun Sang was very,
Mhm,
very wide, very
mhm,
important, very vital.
mhm.
Why I'm saying this? Because if you see in USA, a lot of cases of people unhappy, mental health problems are there. People undergo stress and a lot of things are why it is happening.
Sir, your connectivity. Sir, there is a connectivity issue. Unmute yourself, sir.
Now, connectivity issue is my end or it is at
I think it is your end.
which end?
अभी आ रहा है बीच में जा रहा है ना.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, sir, if just continue to your point that what you said, mental health, which is basically very fundamental of our overall well-being, and it is a part of your emotional, psychological, and social well-being.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Go
Archana
to
ma'am,
other place.
Yeah.
Archana ma'am is joined, sir.
Archana Manj join.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So yes, you can continue. Great.
Hello, Archana ma'am. Hello. Hello.
है उधर किधर चल रहा है
नेटवर्क में कम आ रहा होगा
हाँ
ये कम है
और
ये
किधर
इसी रेंज में है
इधर
इस रूम
आता
में बहुत अच्छे से आता है आप यहीं बैठ जाओ ना
हाँ
कहीं
मैं
आप।
इधर ही बैठ जाता हूँ
वो बेटर है शूज उतार के कंफर्ट
Hello,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Please, please.
Yeah, I am extremely sorry for being so late for the session actually. Now, since I am a psychiatrist and I'm working in a government institute, there had been an emergency case of a suicide of an old patient of ours, which I had to attend to. And that's the reason because of which I couldn't join in. I guess, first of all, I would like to thank all of you for waiting for me patiently. And again, also, I thank the ICS team for inviting me to give my lecture or in this session where I could explain my views about or what I have learned in a short span of time. Yes, my topic is sanity in an insane world. I am a practicing psychiatrist, homeopath, counselor, and hypnotherapist since 12 years. And I'm also associate professor in HOD in my department, the Shaskiya Homeopathy Mahavidyalaya, Jalgaon. So, yes, the next slide, please. Yeah, so what's happening around the world right now? If we can see, we have so many noises and voices around us. All these noises and voices, they are constantly keeping us engaged. A lot of them, mostly all of them are negative, and they keep on disturbing us at all times. Now, these voices and noises are not just those which are from outside, they are also from our inside. They are our behavioral patterns. They are our responses to all these stimuli that are there in these surroundings. And they are not just one domain. Like if you're working or if you're having a job, it's not that it'll be, a job thing and you will have thoughts only of your job or only about your business. You have thoughts about, of course, your home, about your family, about your own personal space, about society, about your social being, about you being a human being, about all the extra things that you see on the internet, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all those things. And of course, peer pressure that is there in each and every age group. So in general, we can see that this entire earth has actually become an insane asylum. And rather than focusing on ourselves, each of us is focusing on what is there around us, trying to be at par with the growing world and all the things that we have done and all the things that we are wanting to do, right? So, yeah, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so I have distributed my entire presentation into 4 or 5 parts. We will discuss about the importance of mental health first. I'm sure each one of you present over here knows this mental health is extremely important. In the last year, WHO had given more and more emphasis on mental health disorders. And this year again, WHO has mentioned in its Mental Health Week about health for all as their slogan. And of course, health for all includes mental health as well as physical health. The main problem with I would not say problem precisely, but the main thing with mental health is yet in many parts of the world, even in India, in the Indian society, mental health is considered to be a taboo. Disturbance in the mental health is considered to be a taboo. I still see a lot of patients, even in this advanced world, where patients have actually visited a lot of mantras and tantras, and then finally they find no relief, and probably then they come back and then they say that the disease is already so much advanced, and it becomes really difficult to handle such cases. And frankly, the addition of technology has added on to this mental health issues. Now, if I say mental health issues, uh, uh, the mental health issues like uh, basic as not knowing yourself well, or you can say as basic as not able to function properly. Now, if we understand what is mental health, we will realize mental health is something where we can have our own, we can use our own mind functioning well and fulfilling our daily needs. Like the physical health is there is this mental health. And mental health is absolutely important if you want to be physically healthy as well. Now, if we see how many of us, if we are having a bad day, we are definitely going to have aches and pains in the bodies here and there. I'm sure each one of us might have experienced this. Along with that, if you're having a really good day, all the things, a really good day means everything good happening with you and mentally you're feeling very fresh. All the things that you do physically become very easy, right? So that means that mental health definitely has a great impact on our daily lives and our daily activities. So yes, it is important that we consider this, socially accept this, and stand up against the stigma and believe in this fact that yes, there is no health without mental health. Mental health is absolutely important, as important as your physical, social, and spiritual health. Can we have the next slide, please? So in this slide, I want to discuss about the difference between a mental health and a mental illness. Mental health is just a taboo because everybody thinks that they are sane. Everybody thinks that they can function normally. Everybody like, but I want to make this differentiation here. There is something known as mental health, something known as mental health issues, and something known as mental illness. There is a vast difference between all the three. But if, as a psychiatrist, if you ask me this, it is very difficult. It's a very thin line to differentiate whether the person is mentally healthy or just having mild issues or really into an illness. What is a mental health? It is a capacity to think, feel, and act in ways that enhance our ability to enjoy our life and deal with challenges. Of course, it's very, very self-explanatory. So what will be mental health issues? It will be a slight deviation from your mental health where you are not into the stage of a mental illness yet, but the issues have started coming up. So how do we know this? Diminished capacities at the cognitive, emotional and attentional levels, and they will start interfering with enjoyment of life and interactions with our society and environment. Now, if we see, each one of us has these mental health issues. None of us is totally mentally healthy. Cognitive means at the level of your thought. Emotional means, of course, feelings. And attentional means your attention span, your capacity to focus on things. Now, none of us have them at par in this age. Not even the little children, not even the older age group people. None of us. And of course, all the working section of people, sector of people definitely do not have this. And it is definitely interfering with our lives, our enjoying our lives, and it is definitely interfering with our interactions with our society and our environment. Let's see what a mental illness is. Now, those conditions that affect a person's thinking, feeling, mood, and behavior. So these are frank illnesses which come up after a person passes through a phase of mental health and mental health issues. Cognitive, yes. So cognitive means thought. What do you think? What do you think? What you can think? How the way you function? Because your behavior always arises from a background thought, and that thought is classified under the cognitive section. Okay, I'll come back to mental illness. For any mental illness to develop, there has to be mental health issues first. How much we are aware that we are having such mental health issues, or people around us are having such mental health issues, how much can we report, how much can we attend to it, that will determine whether that particular individual or ourselves are actually going into a mental illness phase or no. Now we listen, we hear about lots of patients like depression hai, anxiety hai, post-traumatic stress disorder, and there are n number of such illnesses present. The number of people actually suffering from these sort of real mental illnesses is increased significantly in the last 4 years. Post-COVID, yes. So since 2019, and now when we are seeing these kind of patients, we in our OPD itself, we have an increase in almost 37% in the real frank mental illness cases. Now you can imagine what is happening. There have been mental health issues initially, but for us, these mental health issues become normal. So when we say new normal, or when we say normal, the phase during the COVID time, that became the new normal for everyone. And that new normal started interfering with our real mental health. And we started developing mental health issues. These mental health issues over a period of time now are showing up with as frank mental illnesses. And I'm sure each one of us knows at least one person who is actually suffering from such frank mental illness, right? Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah, so now that I have explained what a mental illness is, what mental health is, I would like to come down to explain on how we can maintain our mental stability. That means the real motto of this lecture. Now, I know everybody of us knows that there is stress. Everybody of us knows that we have to face the stress. Our stress taking capacities have gone down. Our stress, the stresses levels have gone really up. The stressors have increased a lot, and our minds have shrunken to actually imbibe the entire stress, work on it, and function well on it. That is why I have come up with a few ways in which we can maintain our mental stability in this insanity that is there around us and inside us. Okay, now how did I come to these conclusions? Let me tell you, around 5 to 6 years ago, When I talk about physical fitness, I would like to tell about this. Around 5 to 6 years ago, I used to weigh almost around 100 kgs. That was post pregnancy, etc., etc. And then I was definitely mentally disturbed as well. Though, yes, everybody would ask me, you are a psychiatrist, how can you not know about mental health issues and then mental illnesses and all of it? Yes, I mean, even we are human beings. All psychiatrists are human beings as well. We live in the same society that you live in. We have our same level of stressors that all of us has. So we are no different from you all, except the fact that, yeah, we know a little bit more about maintaining our mental health or maintaining your mental health. But yes, where did I find my way out was by physical fitness. The person you see me today was probably not the same around 5 years ago. So yeah, how did I achieve my mental stability by physical fitness? Now, if you are already in a phase of new normal, or if you say the new normal is mental instability or just having mental health issues, you can rectify that with by just doing good physical exercises. Yes, and that's true. And only by beginning in the next 6 months, I mean, 5 years ago, when I began doing my physical fitness, in the next 6 months itself, I was capable of understanding, being aware of my mental state and rectifying that mental state using all my knowledge that I had about psychiatry, and yes, come back to life with a real proper mental health state. My issues started resolving. How does that actually happen? What's the physiology behind it? Let's see in the next slide. So what happens? On a very broader level, this is what is happening inside your mind and your body. When we do a physical activity, now let's describe a physical activity. I have people, I have women who come and tell me कि हम दिन भर तो घर में काम करते रहते हैं, कपड़े धोना, बर्तन मांजना, झाड़ू पोछा करना. When we keep on doing all these things, our physical activity is done. And we are standing in the kitchen for the whole day. We are cooking, we are doing this, we are doing that. Does that count to physical activity? Again, we have different men. Can I have that slide, please? Again, we have the workforce, which says that day in, day out, we have to travel for long distances, go reach our workplace, maintain that, face the entire stress of the workplace, then come back by travel. This is we can do. Even in the office, I'm roaming up and down, doing stuff here and there. So, no, that is not physical activity. Physical activity is something where you put in extra effort, where you put in focused effort. I would not say extra, I would say focused effort on improving your health, focused effort on moving your muscles, your joints, and seeing to it that each of your muscle, each of your joint is used, is utilized, is moved. So now, when you're actually doing jharu pocha, or when you're actually going up and down the stairs for work purposes, it is not focused, attentive work. It is just work. You are not attaching your mind and your body at the same time at one single place. If you have to do a Xerox, for example, if you want to get a Xerox from another table, you are getting up from your desk, going to another desk, getting the Xerox and coming back. Your focus is on the Xerox paper, the Xerox sheet. Your focus is not on the way you're getting up, you're walking, you're going around there, and you're not focusing on what your muscles are doing inside. So when you do an active, focused physical activity, that it's called a physical activity. Now, then there are people who say we don't have time, we can't make it, we can't do it in the mornings, and mornings are the best hours to do it, which is the best exercise that I can do, etc., etc., etc. Any sort of focused physical activity, if you can do for 20 to 30 minutes in a day, is more than enough. Now, I would say more than enough for those people who are not used to doing physical activities, but when they start, 20 to 30 minutes per day is definitely very, very good. But yes, as you get habituated to it, Your body demands become more, you start enjoying it more, you can always increase your time. So what happens after a physical activity? At the first level, your your body start showing changes at the cellular and the and internal levels. So each and every cell of your body, now since you're doing a focused activity, your mind knows. Your mind knows, it's giving instructions to your cells. Your cells are also responding in a particular manner. And that is where these molecular changes start at that level. Again, when these cellular and molecular changes start at the body level, those cells also give signals to the mind, to the brain cells. Now, mind and brain are different. Okay, these cells give signals to your brain cells, and brain cells also start responding to that. So you have structural and functional brain changes that are occurring. There is protein synthesis. There are so many things occurring inside the body. When your brain function starts changing, your structure of your brain, the neuronal structure starts changing, that is when you go to the level 3, where we have behavioral, socio-emotional changes. Now, our mind will bring out the thought, but what action you are going to do depends on the cells of your brain. So if there is some issue in the brain, for example, let's say there is some jinx in the brain and your eye stops working. Okay, one of your eye stops working and it goes into a state of drooping. Even if your mind asks your eye that your eyelid should be lifted, it won't be able to do, because that is controlled by the brain. So yes, our physical activities, our behaviors are controlled by our brain, but the main instructions come from the mind. So when your mind is asking your body to do physical activity, undergo cellular and molecular changes, that is being reciprocated by the brain, and there are structural and functional brain changes occurring. That itself brings about behavioral and socio-emotional changes. What happens is you start developing a sense of self-worth. You start eating well, you start drinking good amount of water, you start developing healthy habits, developing healthy sleep patterns, and that is how your cognitive functioning also changes. So what is cognitive functioning? Yeah, can I have the last slide please again once more? Yeah, thank you. The cognitive functioning means your thought process. So indirectly, your brain is determining what thoughts you have, and your thoughts also determine what structural and functional changes are going to occur in your brain. So this is actually a cycle that is there. So that's the importance of a physical activity. Next slide, please. So yeah, whatever I told you there, it's just given in this form. Mental health and physical health, they are the determinants of physical and mental comorbidity. If we want to live a healthy life, there has to be a balance between your mental and the physical health. You only work on physical health with a very depressed mental phase or a mental state, which usually doesn't occur. But if you see gym people, I would not, I don't want to mention anyone, or I don't want to pinpoint to anybody. But if we actually see people who have totally gone building muscle, and uh, if that becomes their job, it started showing up as a pressure on them, right? And then that pressure can hamper your mental health. If that is your job, you understand. But if that is a process, which is the required process, your physical and mental health has to go hand in hand. Now, if you ask me, physical health for me will be much more needed, or for that matter, the amount of workouts that I am doing is much more than somebody who's just a beginner, because that is what is needed for me to keep my mental health at a sanity level. Okay, so the needs of mental health and physical health are different for different people depending on their individuality. But for a proper balance in life, you need to have a proper balance in your mental and your physical health. Of course, good quality diet plays a very, very major role. Why? Because as we all know, and as our Indian science says, everything that goes into our tummy determines our quality of life and our behaviors, right? Each one of us knows this, and this has been told by age-old science, Ayurveda, which was discovered by Indians, by us as Bharatiya people. So yes, we should follow a good quality diet where we include healthy fats. Fast foods not allowed. I have written limited, but I would suggest no. Fruits and vegetables in high quality and high fiber foods. Right? What happens when you have a good mental health? Your psychological and social factors uh, will also come up. So, like if my mental health is good, I will definitely make good choices even in my food because I'm caring about my mental health, right? Similarly, if I'm taking care of my physical health, I will make good choices with regards to my diets, my food habits. So somebody who's having a lot of fast foods and all of it definitely will not have a good physical and a mental health. Now, what will a good quality diet do for my mental health? Hormonal and neural pathways in my body will be taken care of. So internally, I am not developing any major illnesses. And my mental health is also kept at the sanity level. And if I'm following a good quality diet, all my internal biological pathways are taken care of in a healthy way. Right? Imagine you're driving a car and your engine is not functioning properly and you're not using a good oil and of course not using a good quality petrol or a diesel or whatever you want to do. Your machines are not well greased. What will happen to your car? The lifespan of your car goes down, right? So similarly, your body is a machine. It is being taken care of by your mental health, balance between mental health and physical health, and what you put into it. So yes, good quality diet is extremely important to maintain the mental sanity. Next slide, please. The next topic, I hope this how can we maintain a mental sanity or a good mental stability with the help of physical fitness must be clear to you. If there are any questions, we can take it at the end of the session. Now, stress versus you. How would you handle stress? That was mental stability. Stresses are there everywhere, and each and every person, each and every individual, be it from a very, very small kid, a milk, a fetus, a very, very small child, a baby, up till the person who's probably lying on the deathbed, each one of us is having our own shares of stress. How do you handle that? How do you manage that? Next slide, please. Stress system. Let us first understand this. What happens when there is a stress in the body or in the mind? Now, there are majorly two types of stresses that are coming in. So one is a psychological stress and one is a physical stress. When either of these stress comes up in our body and our mind shows up a stress response. Now, this is really what is happening in our brain. So when what is a stress response? Our brain will come up with some mediators. There is a stress. Signals reaches the brain. How do they reach? From that particular cell. For example, I have something has pinched me on my hand. That is a kind of stress on my skin. That level of stress is reaching my brain through my hypothalamo pituitary adrenal axis. I will not go into all details because I'm sure people present over here are not very much well versed, but I'll tell it in a very layman language. अगर किसी ने मुझे चिमटी काटी है, so that pain is going to go into my brain. And the sensation of it, once it goes into my brain sends signals into my nerves and back to that skin where it will say, it is a pain sensation, take your hand away. All right. So if somebody is doing this, or if I place my hand on a boiling pot or on a hot pot, I will immediately take my hand away. Now, this is so immediate, but inside it is a long process. The skin understands the temperature. It goes inside the brain. The brain passes signals. It is a hot pot. Remove your hand, and then the signal goes away, goes back to your hand, and then your muscles function and they pull your hand away so that your skin doesn't burn anymore. Right. So this is what happens in an actual stress system also. Now, what happens is in the body level, there is energy mobilization, metabolic changes, immune system activation, digestion suppression, and reproduction shutdown. These are the after effects of all the psychological stresses and stressors that are there in our body. Once there is a stress, now this example of taking away your hand from a boiling pot is a different thing. But apart from that, if there is a regular level stress, which is not as much that you can get, a serious reaction or a response. But there is some stress which is constantly occurring, constantly occurring. Like you have one person in your workplace whose face you don't like to see at all. But you have to constantly look at that person, constantly talk to that person. Or for women, it can be, a maid in the house who is not working well, but she can't leave the maid or she can't change the maid for whatever reasons. So there is a constant stress in our mind. Eventually, when this stress becomes regular, what happens is our body will start showing reactions, our brain starts showing reactions at different levels. So when a body is showing reaction, what can go wrong? Energy mobilization. Energy mobilization means you don't have enough energy to really put in that effort to do all the regular activities. Metabolic changes, so many diseases like thyroid, diabetes, hypertension, that is blood pressure, all these things start occurring. Immune system activation, yes, it goes down. You start getting immunity related disorders as well. Digestion suppression, भूख नहीं लगती है, पेट साफ नहीं होता है, etc., etc., etc. Reproduction shutdown, a very major issue. In the recent times, infertility has become a real big issue amongst all people, even in India. Okay, these changes start occurring at your body level. At your brain level, epigenetic programming changes. That means your genomic effects start. That means at the DNA level, at the gene level, there are changes that occur. And these genetic level changes passes through your offsprings. So nowadays, the children that are born, they are also mentally not really very fit the way they used to be previously. An entire machinery is altered in the baby which is born. And there are certain non-genomic effects as well, where immune reactivity is totally changed. Totally changed. So either you become much more excitable or you will become much less, totally suppressed, or you don't have any response pattern. So many physiological and behavioral changes start occurring because of this. And what are these changes? Our body actually adapts to this. So when we say something is new normal, it is our adaptation to the new normal thing occurring. That is why for us, we have actually forgotten that there is something known as mental health also. These mental health issues have become our new normal. So now our next stage with this new normal is going to be mental illness. And that is what is occurring. That is what we are actually seeing. Can we have the next slide, please? So how? What can we do so that we can release the stress? Stresses are going to be there. They are not going to leave you. Neither we are going to live. Neither we are going to stop living. Or neither we are going to stop earning or this or that or whatever works that we are doing. So there are 5 top tips that I think are very easy to follow. And yes, they can help us reduce our stresses to a major level. First thing is eat nutritious food. Fill your plate with lean meats, fresh fruits, and veggies. There are so many, data, so much of a data available on what is healthy food, what is unhealthy food. That is why I'm not entering into that zone at all. You can actually check in through so many different places. But my main motto is eat nutritious food. Exercise. Find something you enjoy and do it each day. You'll know there are hundreds of different forms of exercises available right now, today. Why did that happen? Because each and every person found a different pleasure in different forms of exercises. Somebody might love going to the gym. Somebody might love doing yoga and finding peace and solace there. Somebody might love running or just walking. Right? So many different things that are available in the market even now. Somebody might enjoy dancing, Kathak, Bharatnatyam, or anything of that sort. That moving in each and every muscle of your body is what is most important. And focused, attentive exercise, physical level, physical fitness work. Drink lots of water. How does that help? It helps you reduce or nullify or remove the toxins that get collected in your body. Now we know how toxins get collected. Of course, What you think can also become a toxin in your body, because whatever you think has a direct effect on your cellular and your metabolic level, and molecular changes occur at each and every cell level. And this is proven. Okay. So these toxins are getting developed. They are also an internal stress for you. It is like गाड़ी के engine को जंग लग रहा है. So what can you do about it? Drink lots of water. And when I say water, I am precisely saying water. I am not talking about soft drinks, hard drinks. I'm not talking about, if I may say the names, Maza, Fruity, etc., which are not soft drinks, but they are just healthy drinks. I'm not even talking about fruit juices, fresh fruit juices. I'm talking about water. It is very important. Okay. Get at least 7 hours of sleep each night. Now, I would say this is different for different people. Somebody might feel exactly fresh with 5 and 6 hours of sleep also, and somebody might need 8 to 9 hours of sleep also. It depends on how an individual body is made. Okay, how a body is. And with practice, we can change it as well. And most importantly, make a task list and mark each thing off as you go. There are n number of tasks, each and every one does each and every day. And our major stresses come in because we probably forget one of the tasks, or probably not attentive to whatever work is being given to us. So, isse gussa milega, isse ye milega, whatever. So please make a task list. You can actually organize, keep everything organized. So making a task list is actually a form of organization. If you can organize everything, it's excellent. So organize your cupboard. When you wake up, organize your bed. Whatever work you want to do, organize and make it as a task list. If you do that and keep on ticking, it gives a positive response, positive uh, influence over your brain. And this positive influence definitely, again, is going at a cellular and molecular level and bringing about good changes in your body. And of course, through your body, in your mind, in your brain. Can I have the next slide, please? Simple. I follow this principle, and I think this is the best piece of suggestion. I would not say advice. This is the best piece of suggestion I can give everyone. Don't stress. Do your best and forget the rest. Yes. What happens is there are a lot of places where we start comparing ourselves with others, and we want to probably reach that far, or not with others, even ourselves. We start comparing. Probably we want to reach a certain level, and we have to do so many things there, etc. No, everything is new. Every platter is new. Now, I'm a marathon runner. If you ask me, I would tell you that every run is different. For me, every run is different.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself, ma'am. Unmute yourself.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. Suddenly, I just got out of the meeting and entered in back. Yeah. So yes, like I said, just do your best in everything that you want to do and forget the rest. Things will come up, and things actually come up. Sabhi kuch kuch aata hai. Don't stress. Do your best. Can I have the next slide, please? Now, this is a new thing I would say. Right? When you all must have read about me, I am a psychiatrist homeopath. So what does that mean? People must be confused. I would like to clarify, and that's why the slide has been added. I am a BHMS, a homeopath, basically. Then I did my MD in homeopathy, but my specialization subject is psychiatry. So in the society, I am a homeopath psychiatrist. That means I'm a psychiatrist who will give homeopathy medicines to psychiatry patients, to patients who are mentally sick, mentally ill, and who require medications. So I am not giving any medication to them, or maybe, I'm not giving allopathy medication to them. I'm giving only homeopathy medications to these patients. Now I have a practice of 12 years, and I could say I am very much satisfied with my practice, and my patients are as well. This is not a new branch in MD, in psychiatry for homeopaths. It's been there since 15 years, but we don't find many homeopaths who practice psychiatry as their specialization subject. The simple reason being uh, their experience in psychiatry, one thing, the training in psychiatry that they get, second thing, and third is the confidence in psychiatry. I'm sure after listening to this entire session, whenever you notice that there are certain mental health issues or mental illnesses coming up in with you or with your family members, you would want to, since you know now, you would want to visit a homeopath because we know that there are no side effects, and of course there is better treatment available. I can claim this, there are better treatment available because uh, for an allopathy medication, so I don't want to name anybody, but for those, the medications that we are taking right now, that are there right now, they have to be taken for a long period of time. And apart from that, they definitely give you a lot of bad effects. But with homeopathy, we've had a very good experience. So most of you, or you would want to take your family members, your known people to homeopaths for taking uh, for psychiatric complaints. But my suggestion would be that not all homeopaths are trained in practicing psychiatry. So what happens is at the end of the day, it comes up that homeopathy doesn't work in for psychiatry. It's not that. Not all homeopaths are trained well for treating psychiatry patients, because the basic knowledge of psychiatry is very, very important for anybody, or the basic knowledge. For example, if you're going to somebody who's a gastroenterologist, they have a special basic knowledge of gastroenterology, an advanced knowledge of gastroenterology. That is why they can practice that well. Similar is the case with psychiatry. If you don't have a basic knowledge of psychiatry, even the homeopath will not be able to help you better. This slide was being purposely put in for this same reason, so that I can tell you about it. Please, can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. So what is our aim? Each one of us wants to live a good life. Yes, of course, I want to live a good life, and all my listeners over here, I would definitely want all of you to have a good life. What is a good life? A good life is when we can be happy all the time. Yes, all the time. We can be happy all the time. It's a choice. What does happiness mean? Means enjoying daily pleasures. Whatever you do, you're enjoying. And that is when you live a pleasant life. You are contributing to the greater good. That is when you lead a meaningful life. Now, what do you mean by contributing to the greater good? It's very normal, no? Until and unless you are satisfied and complete within yourself. I'm not talking about material things. I'm talking about real life. If you're satisfied and feeling complete within yourself, only then you can think about somebody else. This is normal human nature. But if you are not fulfilled within yourself, how could you help, or how could you try to even contribute to the greater good of other people or the society or anybody else? How would you even think that? That is, a meaningful life is when you can actually contribute to the society as well. Apart from that, there is also something known as a good life, where you are using skills for enrichment. That is known as a good life. So, if you want to be happy, if we want to live a good life, we can actually do that. We can make a choice of doing that by making good choices in our own lives. Can I have the next slide, please? I think I'm running out of time, and I'm actually rushing with the last slides right now. So we have to remember the 3 C's of our life: choices, chances, changes. Very, very important. You must make a choice to take a chance, or your life will never change. This literally stuck me when I read it for the first time, and I really wanted it to reach to all of you. If you want to change your life, if you want to be in a mental health state, you have to make choices that will give you a chance to do that. Choice, chance, and change will definitely occur. Can I have the next slide, please? And remember, we live only once. So let's make a choice to live a good life. I think that's more than important than anything else in this world. Whenever we are on that, whenever we imagine, when I imagine that I'm, on that bed, maybe counting my last breaths, I just want to look back and feel totally fulfilled that yes, I have lived a good life all my life. I have made choices. Maybe they might have been difficult at times, difficult for me, difficult for everyone around me. But at the end of the day, if those choices are helping me living a good life, helping people around me, and actually adding on to the society, and it gives me total satisfaction, definitely I will feel I have lived a good life. Next slide, please. So this is about me. I am Associate Professor in HOD, Department of Organon of Medicine, Government Homeopathy College, Jalgaon, Maharashtra. BHMS MD and a PhD scholar. Currently, I'm doing my PhD. I'm practicing psychiatrist, homeopath, counselor, hypnotherapist since 12 years. These are my contact details, my email ID, and my website. Yes, I practice in Jalgaon, Maharashtra. The next slide, please. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me for such a long time. I am thankful to the entire team of ICS to have me in with you and allow me to share my experience with all of you and share my knowledge. And of course, again, I want to apologize for being late for starting this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing the information. So now I request all the delegates and participants, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can put in the chat box.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello, Vaibhav.
Yes,
Yeah, I just forgot to note down the contact details of Dr. Kabra. Can you give them again? Number 75. Hello. Yeah.
slide is visible, sir.
No, it's not visible. Just one thing. Just one thing. 7588007568 at Gmail. Yeah, thank you. Body and mind cure. And mind. Yeah, thank you.
I think
Dr.
it
Archana.
is. I probably are you phone number are you sharing? I mean,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah. So that's the last two digits is 68. So it is 758800 7568.
68 and 69 both.
Yeah,
68
68 and 69 both. Yes. Yes, 68 is my number, and 69 is also there. That's my husband's number, who's also practicing homeopath, and he takes care of little children. He's a pediatrician in homeopathy. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, madam. It was nice presentation.
There is a question from ma'am Dr. Kataria, sir. So please welcome
Yes.
Dr. Kataria, sir. Welcome, sir.
Very good afternoon, Dr. Archana.
Yes, sir. Thank you for
Hello.
hearing me, Kataria, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Very good afternoon, Dr. Archana.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Ma'am,
I
there
am.
is something connectivity issue. So
Again, there is a connectivity issue.
yes.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Negi sir put in the chat box the question: what steps can individuals take to prioritize their mental health in the face of societal pressure and challenges?
Okay. Okay, sir. So my answer to this is one word: choice. Choice. If we want to prioritize our mental health, we have to make that choice of prioritizing our mental health. Once we make a choice, we start taking decisions, we start making decisions where our mental health is our priority. Societal pressure is always going to be there. But the way new normal has come up, adaptation has come up. If you prioritize your mental health, eventually your society also starts adapting to your new, the new choices that you've made or the new change that you have brought in your life. It happens. It happens. And I'm telling this out of experience. It does happen. It happens with everyone. So we have to make a choice to prioritize our mental health.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. And any other questions do I have? Kindly let us know your views on mandala therapy. Oh, amazing. Thank you for this question. Mandala therapy, it's basically a kind of therapy where you're putting in focused attention on something creative. So creativity is a way, is a method in which we try to rewire our brain. So inside the brain, our cells are the functioning of our cells, the molecular changes that happen at the level of our cells gives a good impact or brings in a good feedback system on our brain. So mandala therapy is helping you to rewire your brain. You are putting in focused attention to some place which wherein you have to put in your creative effort, maybe in choosing colors, maybe in small designs, or maybe in the patterns, or maybe in the focused attention on something. So that helps you in combating depression, things like anxiety. Like in physical exercise, you're using your body muscles. Mandala therapy, you're using your brain muscles to work. Simple. Did that answer your question, Vivekji? Thank you. Yes. Okay. Okay. Mr. Dominic. Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So, Kataria sir, hello. Sir, please unmute yourself. Hello, sir, please unmute yourself. Kataria sir.
Okay, are you able to hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes, sir. Very much audible.
Dr. Archana Kabra, thank you very
Yes.
much. It was very simple way you could explain all the aspect of your mental health. And I do agree
Thank you, sir.
what you have presented very scientifically, but I can correlate with my life. I feel myself very lucky and very happy person on this earth. Okay.
That's amazing, sir.
And
Yeah.
I've seen the people surrounding me. A lot of people are stressed because of surrounding, because of working environment, because of the hard work, the place of work. That's why we in industry put a lot of stress, a lot of focus on behavioral science. I've seen many cases happening in the past where people working offshore at Bombay Eye, and they were so overstressed, see, for mental health to that extent, they suicided themselves. It went to that extent.
Yeah.
So
That's the sad story now. Yes.
that is had it is happening in industries also, which is also happening in Kota, the student who are going through
Yes.
very much stress of learning and competing the world, because
Yes.
there are things which is causing the mental health. Ultimately, it goes to the very sad extent. Now, my question is, we have recently done the BP check over our people at Bombay
Hmm.
office.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
after screening, we found almost 30-40% were having the BP, which is on the borderline. Of course, they were on the borderline. I just wanted you to correlate how it is, why it is, and is it going to affect their mental health? If mental is affected, your physical health gets. Is it a lack of exercise, or why people are not able to cope up with the work stress? Thank you.
Sure, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you for this question. I'm sure this question will help so many people around here. Blood pressure, in particular, is a lifestyle disorder, and when we say that borderline is occurring, that means definitely there are major changes in lifestyles of people in the recent past, like the new normal thing that has come up. And because of that, now lifestyle definitely includes eating habits, sleeping habits, working habits, exercise habits, and all of this, like we saw in this entire session, are a part of your mental health, your overall health. Like mental health is also equally important. So these stresses, the new normal that has brought up the new stresses, that new normal is affecting the physical body. And because this is there, the physical body is also putting up an impact on the mental health. So if we see, if you study further more, these group of people who are hypertensive, who are not actually hypertensive right now, their issues of stress will be very different. Their response patterns will be different from those who are not hypertensive as yet. Their mental health will be definitely at a mental health issue level at the moment. And yes, if we take good care of them right now, they might not reach into a mental illness or a frank physical illness state as well. So, and that's really great that you've actually done such work, and you are giving so much to the society. That's really appreciable, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Is it having any aging effect also with the people? Because in my case, I never had the blood pressure in the past, just for about 5 years back. And when I was on the work, I was getting little irritated and getting angry on the people because they were not meeting my pace of work. And I was very demanding. Today also I'm very much demanding. But then I kept everything within myself. Did it affect my blood pressure? Because just 5 years back, I got the blood pressure. I never had
Yes,
hypertension.
of course.
Because
Yes, of course, sir.
I do
It
regular
did.
yoga.
So, in spite of regular yoga, if with mental health deviation, you can develop blood pressure, imagine how much impact mental health has on our physical health as well, and in the overall well-being of our life. I mean, you have experienced it on your own right now. So yeah, this is a real example in front of us, for all of us. Right? So yes,
Thank you.
it definitely has an impact. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we have another question in the chat box. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you very much. We have another question in the chat box which says, what are some ways to practice detachment for mental health with positive solitude? Shubhamji, solitude is not our way of living as humans. We humans are social creatures. First thing, if we try to diverge from our normal natures, there is going to be stress. Positive solitude is where you want to find your own peace when you are alone. That is what I consider, and that is what I have understood by the question that you've asked. Detachment won't occur unless you you go to that monk state, and For me personally, yoga, meditation, yoga is not just, doing your Surya Namaskars with your, it's proper breath work. Proper breath work, meditation, these things you for trying to get that level of the solitude that you're asking for. Being in a chaos, being in a mess, yet you can feel that solitude and that completeness within you. Yes, that's the ultimate thing that we can ask for. How to develop that detachment, breath work. Now, why breathing or why? Because our entire body, our life, our um, existence is because of the breath that we take in and throw out. So when we are dying, that breath is not there. And when we are alive, that breathing is there. That's the only difference between us alive and us dead. So that is why breath work, if you can control that, or if you can take care of that, your mind and your body also comes into a proper focus level. And even in places of chaos and mess, you can experience that positive solitude. I hope I answered that question, Shubhamji.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I request all the delegates and participants, if you have any question, you can unmute yourself and ask directly, or you can put in the chat box.
So yeah, I guess there are no questions, and I thank everyone for
Okay,
listening to me. Yeah,
yes,
and
ma'am.
yeah, I hope I could add on at least something in your lives to make your lives a little more better than what it is right now. And I hope the best for all of you. Thank you
Yes,
very
ma'am.
much.
Thank you, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Our next session is on 20th of October. ICS is pleased to provide you all its research and development, integrated management system, QMS, EMS, and OHSS, excellence in education management, ISO made easy in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above book, please contact me, Shishma Kindalkar, on the given contact details. Feedback form. I request everyone to please register on www.sadgunsang.org and go in your login and give your valued feedback to us. So thank you, Archana ma'am, for your valuable information and presentation. So now it's time to officially close the session. Thank you all the delegates and participants who were joined the today's session. Thank you, everyone.